If you turn on the news today, you might hear some lip service given to increased jobless claims, but overall, places like Vox, which is the Fisher-Price of American punditry, and MSNBC, they love to talk about how amazingly awesome national employment is. Except it's not. And so it got me thinking, with Labor Day being yesterday, what exactly are we celebrating, in fact? Genevieve Wood, Senior Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, joins me to talk about the labor force on Labor Day. Well, as close to Labor Day as we can get. Genevieve, always good to see you. I don't get, Thanks, Labor Day just seems like a day for people like Richard Trumka to make appearances with Joe Biden, and they cheerlead each other while we have, unemployment figures that are misleading, a record high workforce participation rate drop off. And what did we shed? Another 360,000 jobs just last month. So far, labor doesn't look great on Labor Day.
No, it doesn't. But, the numbers that you just talked about, you didn't hear the major networks talking about that. All they talked about was, unemployment is down to 5.1, 5.2%. What, of course, they don't say is how many people, how many Americans have simply quit looking for work. So they're not officially in those unemployment numbers. And the truth is we have had the worst recovery in this country in the past 50 years is what we're in now. So the fact is it is not a good Labor Day to be celebrated for many Americans who would like to work but can't find full-time jobs.
Right, exactly. Or find anything more than a part-time job either. And with this, of course, we always hear, well, our unemployment's it's lower now. It's about 5.3%. When you do the math, that is not numerically possible, Genevieve. I mean, our real unemployment rate actually seems astronomically higher when you look at the over 94 million Americans who aren't in the labor force.
That's right. And we have fewer Americans by percentage in the labor force today than we've had in over 20 some odd years. I mean, the reality is there was a time in this country when over 80% of men who were of working age in this country had jobs and were going to work. That has drastically changed. You now see those numbers down in the 60s.
Right.
And so women, same thing. They've actually increased in the past 30 odd years as women entered the workforce. But even with women, the number of them now working as a percentage of the population, those who are in that working age population, has gone down. And you hear those on the left, the Obama administration, talking about, well, these are demographic shifts.
They say they're all baby
boomers
boomers
retiring.
Yeah.
That's just not, we know that it's about a fourth to a third of that can be attributed to demographic shifts like baby boomers. The vast majority of the numbers come from the fact you have fewer people looking for work today than you had in recent years.
And fewer jobs for them to find as well.